Let's have a look, see if we are live. And we are live, so good evening to everybody on YouTube who is waiting patiently. Hi Audrey. Oh, hi Margaret. Happy birthday to you. Hi Nina, Margaret, Shell, Jane, Saz, Joanne, Anne. Joanne already. Paula. I'm almost back to normal. Jan. Whatever my normal is. I mean, we all know my normal's not actually normal. Right, let's make sure that Facebook is live. We are. Just making sure the subtitles are off, and they are. So good evening to everybody on Facebook. Hi Emma, Linda, Catherine, Angie, Jeanette, Jill, Lynn, Jackie, Deirdre, Anne, Patricia, Georgine. Oh, Georgine, all the shortbread's gone. It's shocking. Georgine, next time I'm up, I'm going to bring you your lovely jars back as well. Deborah, Susan, Audrey, Alison. Oh, you're coming too quick. Oh, I love your name. Elvina, did I say that right? Very posh. Sue, Julia, Bridget, Jean, everybody's coming in quickly. Lee, Joe, Linda, Bridget. Anyway, right, so we'll hang on a few minutes and let everybody else get here. So this is, I wanted to do this live on, oh, let me take that off. I wanted to do this live on Friday, but as you know, I was recovering. So tonight it is, and I thought it's a good chance. I mean, hopefully you've all watched the video that Ilona's done, showing you how to build the cracker using the die set. And Saz has very kindly done a video of the box. I should have brought them up. They're in my dining room. I might run down and get Saz's crackers halfway through, just so I can show you. So Saz has very kindly done a video for us showing you how to construct the box that holds 4 crackers. And now I need you to expand that, Saz, and do me one for 6 crackers. Like you're not busy enough. I know. It's on Facebook also, Doreen, on the Sentimentally Yours page. So hi Carole, Susan, Sharon, June, Annette. Oh, it's clicking over. Oh, spot on, I got your name right. It's very posh, I love it. I wonder if I could have a posh name rather than Phil. Anyway, so like I say, while we just wait for everybody else to get here, the cracker that I started on TV, this is the cracker I started on TV. This is what happens when you throw things in your craft trolley that's full of dies and stamps and stuff. It's got squashed. So I'm going to make another one exactly the same as this. But I thought, when I was first showing you the cracker, obviously it was really busy last week. So thank you very much everybody. You're all absolutely loving this year's Christmas release, which is music to my ears, because it is really rather beautiful. Now, for those of you who haven't yet done your orders, I'm just going to say this once, maybe twice, maybe a few times, but we are already almost sold out of a lot of the Christmas stuff. So if you're hanging on, don't hang on too long. There wasn't really any stock left to get back from TV, so the little bit that they had left, I've left with them. So basically what I'm saying to you all is what we've got is what we've got. There won't be another reorder. That will be it. Hi Karen, hi Andreen, Chrissy. Oh, I don't even know how to say that, Chrissy. It sounds a bit dirty. Hi Donna. Got your goodies, more on the way. I don't blame you. I do know that the Christmas release was quite a big one this year. So well done if you managed to get it all, but more importantly, it doesn't really matter. Even just sections from the collection will work and make beautiful cards, and that was something that I worked hard on to try and do that for you. So even if you could only get a couple of the bauble dies and maybe one or two of the embossing folders and one of the papers, it doesn't matter. It's meant to work together, work individually, and it's going to give you years and years of loads of lovely, beautiful Christmas cards. Anyway, so we are going to take a little bit more of a look at the Christmas cracker die. It's been hugely popular. There's hardly any left. So if you're hanging on, waiting, don't wait too long, please, because I won't reorder it. It was a massive order that I did for the Christmas stuff this year. So once it's gone, it will be gone. I cannot bring any of this back. Even next year, I probably won't bring this back. So we are going to make this cracker from scratch. Now, I've seen lots of different tips from people on the Facebook group, and what I'm going to say to you is you can't really do this wrong. And I think once you've made a couple, you will see just how easy it is to do this. And this was the whole point. This Christmas cracker, I think Elaine, if Elaine's watching, Elaine asked me about a Christmas cracker die way back last year, and it's taken the best part of 10 months to get this right, so that it offers you more than just the cracker. And this is what I'm going to show you tonight. I'm going to actually make 3 things that coordinate. We're going to make this cracker again, or when I say we, I mean me. I'm going to make this cracker again, and I'm also going to make a card that coordinates with it, and a little table place setting. And this was something that I tried to convey, look at me. This was something that I tried to convey when I was on TV, because it's really difficult to get everything in that I need to say. We all know that the time just flies when you're on live TV, and there's never enough time for me to do everything that I want to do. So we're going to take a quick look. It is what I said about the Berry Spriggs jean, but I think it's your fault, Jean Tondi, making me reorder these, although I'm sure lots of people would be glad. I don't actually know if any of these are left. There's none on TV. Elaine is watching, bless you. So you've got Elaine to thank really for the cracker, and not so much how long it's taken me to do it, but Karen, I'm not sure whether Karen's home or not yet. Look, Leroy. Chris. Oh, I'm glad you have, Lee. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know if we've got any of these left. These were the reorder, the Berry Spriggs and the Fir and Holly Sprigs. If we have got any, they will be in the festive release category from last year. They are not in the new release category for this year. So that said, we're gonna take another look at this cracker die. So I'm gonna show you the die first. Now I know a lot of you have already received it, and I've seen some fabulous samples already in the Facebook group. But what I wanted to go through with you is, you can see I've done mine through a manual machine. What I wanted to go through with you is what you actually get with this. So this, as we know, is the cracker itself. So this cuts you the full cracker shape, yeah. And you know, it would have been really easy for me to just give you one big panel in there, one big panel with one choice. But no, this is me we're talking about. I didn't want to just restrict you to one theme. So within this whole set, and remember this is a full A4 magnetic sheet, it's packed, there's no space whatsoever. So I didn't want you to just have a cracker die that does one thing and gives you one theme. You've got loads and loads of options. I wanted you to be able to use this for cards as well. And this is where my brain was ticking away, thinking about these panels. So if you look at the middle of my cracker here, I've basically, because I've done the decorative papers, I've basically just cut this twice in white card for the middle of my cracker. Now what if I wanted to do something else? What if you wanted to do, I don't know, a panel? So if you wanted to do this on a panel, let's remove that because you're not daft. You already know that that's how that works. So this two of these will make up the inside part of your cracker, the middle part of your cracker. So the first thing I need to say to you is, top tip, this is something that I've discovered. When you roll, these dies are quite thin, obviously, because this is, I wanted to get so much on here, so these dies are quite thin. Now when you roll these through your manual machine, they're going to bend. So with these, my recommendation would be to run them through your folder. It depends which way you're looking at it, but run them through your machine this way rather than that way. That stops them from distorting, and it also keeps the shape perfectly true, and it will stop them from bending also. Right, so back to the cracker. So two of these will make your middle panel. Now we've got, as you know, two different decorative filigree elements. So you've got the holly theme and you've got the snowflake. This is why I didn't want one central panel in this cracker, yeah? So I didn't want just one big panel. If I'd have done that, we would have had one theme, not two. This now gives you better value for money, more choices, and more things that you can do with this set, yeah? So now you've got choices. You can either do the snowflake or the holly, and of course we've got the smaller ones that coordinate. I never had time to do this for you last Monday because it was just too busy. So we've now got the small panels, or the small filigree elements with the larger filigree elements that coordinate perfectly, as you would expect from me. What you may not have noticed, unless you've had your crackers delivered, what you may not have noticed is that it doesn't stop just there. It doesn't stop there. So I've given you extra panels. So you can basically choose to do the plain panel. So you can have the plain panel for the center of your, for the edges and the center of your cracker, yeah? That's with one layer, but I gave you more layers. So you can, it's entirely up to you how much time you want to spend on these, that's the whole point. So you've now got an extra layer, look. So matting and layering, done. Run these through your new embossing folders, fabulous. So can you see how we've changed the look again by adding an extra layer, yeah? Interesting, Shell. So Shell on the tube has just said, Phil, can you maybe make the decorative part of the cracker into an embossing folder for next year? Interesting, Shell. Karen, if you're watching, write that down. I can look at that for sure. I can definitely look at that for sure. Anyway, so now we've got two layers. You've got a matten layer and you've also got your filigree element. Now what you've probably not noticed, I'll never get all this back on right. If I take out that smaller layer, you've then got another choice. You've got the pierced layers as well. So not only have we got the plain matting and layering, we've also got the pierced matting and layering. So this changes the look. Hang on, I've got it wrong way around. This changes the look of your decorative elements again. Let me just put these back so I don't get mixed up. It's all, there's so many dies in here, it's ridiculous. So we've now got the pierced elements, which now ties into all the layered differently 2 dies that we've done, layered differently dies that I've done throughout last year and this year. And you know as well as I do, you can swap that and use the holly. And both of them are incredibly intricate, as you've probably guessed when you tried to use them in your machines. So that is your cracker die. Now what you've probably, because I've not made such a big song and dance about it, is these little tags on here. So these 3 little tags that I put on this was the only space that was left on this magnetic sheet. So these little tags here also have the piercing on. You know we love our little labels with the pierced detailing on. So you've got one that's sticky up, one that's sticky down, and one that's edged on both sides. Waste not, want not. And let's just have a look at how beautiful all this is. Oh, I knew I wouldn't get it on right. But it'll do, it'll do, it'll do. It'll do. I'm topless, by the way, so I'm not using my record. So these are all the decorative extras that you get with your cracker. These on their own are absolutely stunning. There's no getting away from it. We already know if you put that on there, roll it round, you've got a napkin ring. Okay, so you can even make napkin rings from these if you so wish. So the holly, the snowflake, and that is your Christmas cracker, Regency Christmas cracker. It's a Regency, darling. Regency Christmas cracker. Of course it is. Now, more tips that I'm going to give you as we go along. If you haven't got... Now, I know that we've all got, or most people have got, the spray adhesive. Now, what I found with the spray adhesive, particularly when I was using the, what do you call it? The luster card, I found that with the spray adhesive on the luster card, it pinged off, yeah? It was driving me mad. So, if you haven't got this, the glue with the brush, you 100% need to get this. You 100% need to get this if you haven't already got it. It's going to make your life so much easier when you're doing all these small decorative filigree elements. Get the brush with the glue. I don't care whether you get it from me or from Julia. Just get the glue with the brush, right? So this is what I had for TV. I showed you what my cracker looked like. So that's no use to anybody. I've chucked it in the bin, but I might peel the paper off. So this is what we end up with. The papers. Oh, the papers are just lush. It doesn't matter which papers you go for. Thank you, Donna. I've got my other ones on my head as well. There we go. It doesn't matter which of the papers, or both, if you go for both of the papers for this year, they're going to make stunning Christmas crackers as well as stunning cards. And that was the whole point. I cannot tell you how beautiful these snowflakes are. Now, for those of you that have already got your papers, please just back me up. The quality and the weight is perfect for the Christmas crackers. And the designs are just stunning. They're just stunning, even if I say so myself. So we are going to replicate this exactly as it is, okay? So I'm going to do the cracker first, and then we're going to move on to the coordinating things that I'm going to do to go with it. Now, if you saw me... I am now, isn't that funny, Jean? Jean's just said, look, on Facebook, the brush glue is amazing, especially when you're doing larger areas. I am topless, Joe, yeah. So there'll be no mirror card on the show tonight. Chris has just said, look, yeah, it's an ideal way. Jean's just said, look, that the brush glue is amazing when you glue in larger areas. Now, interestingly, I've never done that. I might have a go at that. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Emma. God, yeah, they're just beautiful. No cheating. Right, so these are the bits that I had left over from the demo on TV, because obviously I never got to put the cracker together. I genuinely don't know where the time went for that show with Rosie, that second show. But in fact, it freaked me out a little bit, because I thought we'd got about half an hour left. So these are my filigree elements. We're going to put the cracker together first. Now, again, I've seen lots of different tips in the Facebook group from the design team and from people who, like Georgine, people who have already got the cracker die and been working with it. And I'm going to say it again, you'll find your own easy ways of working. So Saz had suggested that she put her filigree elements on first. So I'm just going to talk you through that. It's really difficult to see on here because I've got a patterned paper. So you've basically got to remember that this extra bit here is the bit that rolls over and sticks together. So if you're putting your panels on first before you shape the cracker and stick it together, remember it's not central here, it's central in between this point and the edge of your cracker. So you've got to basically ignore that extra bit. Just remember half a diamond. If you remember half a diamond, you know that this is where it's going to be. So this would be the central point on your filigree element. Yeah, so same amount of space there, same amount of space there, and then all you would do if you were doing this the same way that I'm going to do tonight is you would have it the same distance from here to there, from there to there. So just put one on first, and then you know how much to do the other one. Look at me teaching you stuff tonight. What's that all about? Now I prefer to do it the hard way, of course I do. I'm going to make my cracker shape first, and then I'm going to stick my filigree elements on afterwards, because I can. So remember, top tip. Hi Cheryl, see you Wednesday. Are you back? Yeah. So I'm going to roll this. I'm going to give it a helping hand. Now somebody said, I can't remember who it was, it might have been Ilona from the design team, who said to roll it round a rolling pin, which is a really good idea, but mine's in the kitchen, so I'm going to do it on the edge of my desk. Yeah, and I'm not trying to make this circular, I'm just bending it. I'm just breaking down some of the fibres in the paper to make it easier for me to roll this over. Yeah, and if you pull it towards you as you're doing this, I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but if you pull this towards you as you're rolling it, you won't get any creases in it. So here we go. I was going to do 2 crackers tonight, but I thought there's no point, because once you know how to make it, how you design it, what papers you use, what colour scheme you use is entirely up to you. So I've now given that a little bit of a curve look. Yeah, just gives it a little. It was Sue that said the rolling pin. So I've just given this a little bit of a curve look. It just makes it easier. Now I know Saz will shout at me because I'm going to squash this. But I found it the easiest way for me. So there we go. Look, I've got my curve in the cracker. Joe, so Joe's just asked on Facebook, roll it around the glue bottle with the brush. Yeah, because that's probably about the right thickness, Chrissy, to be fair. I did actually use this to secure it when I made my original one. So Joe's just said, apart from your fabulous papers, what weight papers are best to use, please, Phil? So personally, I would say something that's about 190, 200. You would probably get away with 170. Yeah, but I wouldn't go any lower than that. We've got a spammer. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Ban from the page. Confirm. I've just banned them. Red arrow. What a mongrel. I've got rid of them. Thank you, everybody. I've blocked them. Let's just make sure we ain't got any on. Yes, Saz has just said top tip, put your panels on before adding them to the cracker. I'm doing the opposite. It's probably not strong enough, Saz. Saz has just said, would the inside of a kitchen roll work? It's probably not strong enough. Hi, Gwen. I used a pipe cut to the same length. A pipe? Georgine, darling, how many pipes do you think I've got in my house? Can't get it delivered to the US, not anymore. What hope? Can I put up a link for the cracker, please? Yeah, don't forget, you need to... I'll put up a link for the whole of the Christmas release and then you can find it yourself. Don't forget that if you're in the USA or Australia or abroad anywhere, you need to message Karen if you're missing anything or if you want anything. Let me just put it on Facebook for you all as well. Yeah, you do. It's ridiculous, Linda. Anyway. Right, so what you've got to remember is this extra bit goes underneath. Yeah, it goes underneath. Don't put it on top because it'll look scabby. It goes underneath. So I found it easier to do one end, which is what I'm going to do now, then the other end, and then squash it down in the middle. Now, because these are quite sturdy, you can do that without really damaging your cracker. Oh, Donna, that's so funny. Yeah, I've got. Sandra says I'm surprised you've got a rolling pin. Yeah. I love to bake. In fact, I've got about 4 rolling pins. Right, so of course my glue's dried up with the heat. Oh, that's a good idea. So Sharon's just said that's a really good idea. So Sharon's just said, everybody, she's used the inner tube, not the inner tube from a bike, the tube from the inside of her kitchen roll cling film, because they are quite thick, aren't they? I'm going to save that. I'm going to remember that one. Right, anyway, I'm doing it the hard way because that's how I roll. So I'm putting the glue on the panel. You don't need loads of glue. I personally, as well, would recommend glue rather than red tape. I think the glue's sturdier. So I've put the glue on and I've just tapped off the excess. So I'm going to pop that underneath there now. So you know it's straight because it will only line up one way. So I'm just going to hold that until it grabs. You can't really do this wrong, everybody. Hi, Ruth. Do you, Maureen? Now you've all got pipes. Why have you got pipes? I'm slightly concerned that you've all got pipes lying around the house. It's like Cluedo. I've got no hairspray in my house, Donna. 2 of those pins are on there. You are funny. And then I'm going to do the other side. Just remember, you don't need loads of this glue, so it's probably wise to put it on and then just dab off the excess like I've done, because it's good stuff. And then let's just get that one folded over. You've all got pipes. Georgine, do I need to phone your husband and remind him that you've got, just or warn him that you've got some spare pipes lying around the house? Oasis, you got to roll with it. Thank you, Debbie. The papers are stunning. No if, buts or maybes. They absolutely are. The only pipe I have is a drape pipe. They're the same as me. Right, so that is now dried and stuck together. Yeah. So this is the point where I would say it's useful to have something on the inside of your cracker. So let's just try it and see if the glue it does look. See, I was going to mention to Chrissy, everybody, I was specifically going to mention to Chrissy that this is probably about almost the right thickness, but I can shove it in there, put my glue on here. I'll tell you what, I'm so glad I'm feeling better, because that migraine floored me. I've not had a migraine that bad for, I can't remember. So I'm going to just pop that in there, and instead of me having to squash my cracker now, I can do it on the bottle, the glue bottle. before I got married, I told my mother-in-law I needed a rolling pin to hit her somewhere to make it behave. Oh my word, Carol. She's put, I was only joking, but she bought you one. That's brilliant. I can't quite believe she bought you one. Right, so let's just get the other side done. Oh, that's hilarious, Carol. So this actually does work, everybody, and it saves squashing the cracker. So thanks to Chrissy for that, saying about the glue bottle. What time do I arrive at the shop on Wednesday? Probably, class starts at 10, so I'll probably get there at 5 too. Practice what I preach. Oh, nothing more painful than squashing your cracker, I can tell you. Right, so I'm just holding that down just till the glue grabs. Oops, I've just got a bit of a kink in the middle because I was off centre. That's going to annoy me. Let me just push that down a bit. I'll get a drink. Gee. Not quite at that stage, darling. Let me just... the croissants, Georgine. No, I did get it ordered. It's on its way. Fab. Spray glue. I didn't like the spray glue. Yeah, paperclip would do it as well, Despina. Yeah, she did, Joanne. So Joanne on YouTube was just saying Ilona had a great tip to put a hairband around it whilst it was gluing. So it keeps the shape. So it keeps the shape for you. Yeah. Right, so that's basically it. The cracker shape is done. So your join will be on the bottom. Yeah. So basically all you've got to do now is just pull these in, and squash them in. And we've now made our cracker. How easy was that? Super easy. It is better than squashing your crackers, I can admit to that. Yeah, so, but unless I catch it in time, Saz will tell you, the problem is when I'm on TV, I always stay over the night that I'm on TV, but I always get up about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to get home early. And I get home and I usually start work straight away. Saz will tell you, she's messaged me at 7 o'clock before and said, I bet you're already home, and I am. But there you go. It is what it is. Right, so we're now going to put the decorative parts on. Yeah. I should know better. So we'll do the end ones first. Now this is why you 100% need the brush glue. I fell out with my spray adhesive because it just pinged off, and after all the work you put into this, for you to then see you, I am Carol, yeah, very painful. Kink in the middle won't do. Well, it depends what kind of kink it is. I won't squash my balls. For anybody who's watching first time, I can't apologise because this is kind of normal. This is how we roll. So 100% you need this glue. I'm not sure why mine's gone this colour, unless I've got some ink in it at some point. So I'm going to put the glue directly onto this. Yeah, straight on the back. You don't need loads of it. It dries clear, so if you get any excess, it's really not gonna matter. Yeah. Now what this does with the wet glue is it gives me loads of control, which I personally like. Yeah. So remember, start from the back with this, because it won't matter if it's not perfectly lined up. So I'm starting from the back, and I'm just going to look at what I did before because I was a bit off, look. Yeah, I was a bit off, so I know to go a bit closer. So I know to go a little bit closer with this one. And I'm just going to press that down as I go round. Yeah. It couldn't be easier. It really couldn't be easier. So I've still ended up with the gap, but it don't matter, it's at the back. So that's the first one on. I'm just going to press it down on my mat to push all the delicate parts of this die in. And I personally love the white on the pattern paper. I was going to do it with mirror card, but mirror cards are not so easy to demo with. And then we'll do the other one. Yes, you 100% can. So, oh, I've missed that message. Let me just scroll back. Oh, what a good idea, Karen. Put your own jokes in these. I've just seen somebody ask me, but I've lost it. If your glue's gone too thick, can you... Where's it gone? Apologies, whoever it was that asked me, because I can't see your post anymore. But somebody just said to me, if your glue goes too thick, can you water it down? 100% you can. Yeah, 100% yes. If you remember, my PVA glue is thicker than everybody else's, which is why I love it. But if it's been sitting there for ages and it's gone gloopy, get some water in it, just a couple of sprays, mix it, and then see how you go. Yeah? So let me just see where I went wrong on this one. I didn't go far enough, so I'm going to go a little bit further away. That might be better. It also means you can guide it with your tweezers, look. Let me tell you this as well. This'll make you laugh. It didn't make me laugh, but it'll make you laugh. So I went all the way to Tenerife for a fortnight. Never got bit. Never got bit at all. Remember I told you last week that I got bit on the front garden? Well, I've been bit on the back garden now. So I've been bit there, and I've got 2 on my leg as well. They must like my blood. Right, so I'm just pressing that down, look, just to secure the delicate parts of this die cut. Job done. Job done. I'm not going to put my fingers on yet. I'm just going to clean this bit of glue. Because I don't want it to go on the good side of the next ones that I'm going to do. Right, so let me just clean this up and then do the other 2 panels. So if you're using the 2 panels in the centre, the decorative filigree parts without the panels themselves, which is what I'm doing on this cracker. Where's my kitchen roll? Panic at the disco. I can't find my kitchen roll. Got it. Panic over. Yeah, so if you're using the filigree elements without the panels, just remember to put 1 on so you know how much distance to put the other one as well. So repeat, first one. If you make plaques with the peony or the sunflower paper, use your brush glue on the MDF. Oh, it's a breeze. Now that's a good idea. Is the front garden and back garden? Judy. No, it's Judy. No, for once, no. It's the 100ml brush glue, premium PVA with a built-in brush applicator to speed it. Phil, could you make the insert cracker dies without the Christmas element? You'll have to wait and see what's planned for this year. Or next year. Or whenever. I can tell you this. Oh, no, I can't tell you this. This is really bad. I shouldn't have said that. I'm taking it back. So I'm just doing the larger panels now. I'm going to take that back. But I have been somewhere today that was a lovely day. I shouldn't have said anything. That's just cruel. That's just cruel. Sorry. So I'm starting from the back again. And I'm going to bring this in about that far. So I'll put the first part on. Oops. Put the first part on. And then just roll it round. It's so warm in my room, the glue's drying already, which is an absolute pain. So I don't know whether you've noticed this, people who have already got yours, but when you put your panels on, I'm just getting warm. When you put your panels on, they will line up. Told you the glue's drying too quick. Oops. I won't say any swear words. Not tonight. Not tonight. Maybe later. This is why Saz says to put them on first, because it's easier. So hopefully that's stuck in it. Yeah. Oh, no, of course it's not. That's better. It's drying too quickly. You'll have to wait and see, Chrissy Cole. You'll have to wait and see. Wait and see. Won't be long. Right, so let's just make sure that is stuck, and it's stuck enough for the purposes of tonight. I'll be a little bit heavier with the glue on this one. It's drying really quick. I don't know whether you can hear. I have got the fan on in the background, but it's super warm in here. It doesn't help that I've got that massive 10-foot window, so all the heat, even though the curtains are shut, all the heat from the sun is now coming through, making it really hot in here. Look how easy this is. It's so much easier with the glue. And I will just show you what I started to tell you a minute ago. So now I can come the same sort of distance away. A bit higher up. Line them up. I've got glue all over my fingers, which is not helping. That's it. I'll draw a breath in a minute. We are doing the other two projects as well, but they are relatively quick. I'm rolling my crackers. You decorating, Doreen? Right, so that's that. The panels are on, and we've now, if you've probably not noticed, the way I've designed this, look, if I squash that together, can you see, look, we've ended up with a row of crackers, snowflakes rather, a row of snowflakes on the front of this cracker, which is really rather marvellous. Right, clean the glue up, and we'll get on with this. I'm going to speed up a little bit. Clean that up, because you can guarantee I'll put my hand in it. And then we'll finish this cracker off. Here we go. Get a drink. I am Chrissy. Right, so I'm going to get this tied up. Now on this is the one that I had. I'm going to see if I can reuse this ribbon. This is the one that I had from the show. Now Georgina's given you a tip in the group about something about loops and stuff. But I'm just going to tie this in a double knot. So I know that I need my bow towards the front here. So I'm just going to tie this in a knot. Try and get the knot level with the snowflake look. And then I'm going to tie it in another knot. So if you were making this to pull, you would only use one knot. You wouldn't do two, otherwise you won't be able to pull it apart. So rather than waste my ribbon, I'm reusing it. How good am I? Because normally I would have just used more. And I'm really not a fan of satin ribbon. I never have been. But it does look pretty on these crackers. So same again on this side. Line up the knot with the snowflakes, and then you know it's going to be sat in the right place. I'm doing a double knot because this is just for decoration. And I can tell you 100% that I'm going to make some more of these so that I've got a set for myself, because these will look fabulous on one of my Christmas trees. Now for those of you that don't know, we have 5 trees when they're all up, not all big ones, and one of them is this colour. And for anybody who's been to my shop, you will know that this colour will also coordinate with the decoration at my shop. So some of these might be winging the way to the tree on the shop at the shop. And then I've got the blue twine. I don't know where I've got this twine from. I've had it for years, but I do want an extra little bit of twiny stuff. I'm just going to tie that in one knot, not in a bow, just in a knot, so I've got some string hanging off. Yeah, and the same on the other side. And then we'll finish the decoration. On my original, I've got blue gems in all of my snowflakes. I won't do that tonight because it'll take ages. But you can see, look, on the original, I've got blue gems everywhere. And what time are we on? It's only 10 to 8, so that's... Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it. Do you mind? How do I get the sound back? Yeah, have you clicked mute by mistake? It's quite possible. I keep saying I'll tell you, but... You lot are terrible. Thank you, Trudy. It's nice to have the time to do this, so I am just going to put my gems on, because like I say, genuinely I will be using these, so I'm going to do a decent job of it. So, oops, big gem. I can't remember what these gems are called, and I can't lift the lid up now because I've got gems in it, but they will be on the website. I did tuck then. Just little details, you know I like details. So, just while I'm doing boring parts like sticking gems on, I have been somewhere today which will create a little bit more work for me, but ultimately I'm going to make you all very happy in a couple of weeks. I've just got to find time to do a couple of tutorials before I tell you what that's all about. I am also waiting for one other new product that will go with this thing that I've dealt with today, which is super exciting. It's something that I've not done before. I am halfway, so don't fall asleep while I'm doing this, but it is worth doing it at this stage. Now, those of you that know me well will know that this would have had loads of glitter on, and I probably would glitter the edges of this cracker, the rim of the edges, if it was just for decoration. And now Saz has kindly done that video for us. I've got glue on, that's it. I'm going to have a go at doing these as gifts, and I thought that was a really nice thing to do. We're basically creating keepsakes. And let me just tell you, my ears are still not back to normal. I'm going to film the doctors in the morning. That's nearly 3 weeks my ears have been funny. And the last row, and then we'll finish this off. All the bits for this are done, so it's just a matter of me stamping the sentiment, and then we'll get on to the coordinating card. And there's another little thing we're going to make at the same time. So whatever your theme is for Christmas this year, I try to change it up every year, but this year we've got 2 themes, and it's 2 of my favourites. So we've got the foliage, which you know, look how beautiful that is with the gems on. You all know that I love my poinsettias and holly and things like that. Let's just pop that there and let that set for a second. I've already got the bauble done. I've already got the snowflake done. So we just need to stamp the sentiment. Now this is why I saved some of these, because they are the perfect size for this. So on my original I've got Happy Christmas. So this one I'm going to put Merry Christmas, just so I've got a slight variation. And this is the Festive Charm sentiments, and I am stamping in Twilight Versifying Clay, and I need to leave a little bit of space for a gem at the end. So Merry Christmas. It's a bit skewy, but it'll be fine. This is another tip I'm going to give you. This is the wipe I've just used to clean that glue up. Don't clean your stamps with a gluey wipe, because it makes your stamps sticky. I've made that mistake a few times. Clean that, put that back. I don't know if any of these are left. There are none left on Hobby Maker because we sold out on TV with them. So if we have got any of these left, it's a good thing. We need to get them from us. Right, so I've got my little tag. I'm going to pop a little gem on the end of there so that it matches with the other one. I'm going to put glitter on the edge of that in a moment. Right, so we're coming back to this is the one that we're working on tonight. So I know that this is the front. This is the front of my cracker. And I'm going to shape the bauble. This is one of the mini baubles. And I don't know whether you noticed on the original, I used one of the smaller designs of the papers. So on the actual cracker, I've used one of the larger snowflake designs, and I just wanted a point of difference for the mini bauble, so I used one of the smaller ones. I'm going to shape that on the edge of my desk the same way, and I'm going to just bend that back so that I can stick the bauble on first. So I'm going to stick that on first and just make sure I got it the same as this, because if it's not the same it will bug me. That's about right. So I'm just going to hold that till it grabs. Sorry, I know I'm faffing, but I'm trying to make sure it coordinates. Yeah, that's good to go. Then the little sentiment, hopefully it's dry. I'm going to shape that on the edge of my desk as well. Oops. And I'm going to snip a little bit off the edge of that. Just a little bit, look. So that I can bend that back and stick that on top of the bauble. So we've got Merry Christmas, and we've got Doodah from the other one. Just let that grab. Just bear with me a sec. Yeah, well, Heather's just said I've just ordered the cracker and the snowflake papers. So basically, Heather, even if you only use this cracker paper pack, this snowflake paper pack to make crackers, you're going to be able to make 40 blue ones and 40 blue ones and 40 pink ones. No, 20 blue and 20 pink. So that's 40 crackers from each paper pack. Get rid of that. And then we're going to move on to a card. Where are you? It's much calmer this week than it was last week, don't you think? It's nice when I've got time to do this kind of thing, because I don't normally have time. So a little bit of glue gel for the snowflake. I've already glittered this, and I'm just going to cover up. I'm just going to cover up the join without covering up the sentiment too much. And now we've got a Merry Christmas, and we've got a Happy Christmas. I've just got some glitter on the edge. Just let me finish it properly. Super easy to do. Super easy. You just need time. So we've now got our, this is the one that I've just made with you all. So we've now got the Merry Christmas one that I've just made, and the Happy Christmas one that, oh, I love that. Look, they're exactly the same size. That's marvellous. So we've now created two completely unique Christmas crackers from one die set. So what we're going to do now is move on and make a card that coordinates. So in my head, I thought it was a really nice thing, and if I have time, I'm probably going to do this for my family. I'm going to make them a set of 6. Well, as soon as Saz has made the dimensions for us, 6 cracker box. So we're now going to make a coordinating card, yeah? And I'm doing a top fold card. This was the whole point with these dies. Remember, I didn't just want a one-track pony. The cracker die is fabulous as a cracker die, but it's also fabulous to be able to use it with cards and coordinate your products. So we're basically doing a full set. So I've got here one of my top fold cards, because you know they're my favourite. I've got a white panel, and then I've got the Nordic quilted snowflake embossing folder, which I know I keep banging on about it, but I love this embossing folder so much. So this way that I'm showing you now, with all that amazing tiny detail, is the actual normal way of using this embossing folder. That's the right way up. I'm going to flip it round for tonight's card, because it looks fabulous the other way around as well. So let's get this layer on and glittered. It's 8 o'clock, so I've got time. I've got plenty of time to make this card. And you imagine if you were making these for your friends and family, you can send them a box of handmade crackers. Whether they're decorative, whether you put the snappy things in or not, is entirely up to you. Personally, I would want them to be keepsakes. So I'm going white on white, no silver around it, just white on white, with that gorgeous embossing folder. If you do one pink and one blue, you got his and hers. That's a good idea, Jane. Yeah. So let's just get that on. We'll get some foam tape on this and then get it glittered. And then we're going to use the decorative panels from the cracker die to make our card. So I know that the cracker die it's an expensive die set. There's no getting away from it. But you're all savvy enough to know that you pay for the amount of metal, and there is literally no space whatsoever on that cracker die set. And you're also getting the magnetic sheet, which is an A4 one, and you all know well enough to know that magnetic sheets in A4, they're like, well, anything from £1 up. So there you go. Right, let's get this on. Get it glittered, and then we'll move on to the panel. I don't normally put glue on my card layer, but I am just for tonight. Just stand up to get this straight. I've got little bits of glue stuck all over me. That was glue. So let's just pop that on. So white on white, which is always lush for Christmas cards. We're going to introduce the colour from the papers. So let's get some glitter around the edge of this. So I'm glittering around the edge. Surprise, surprise. This just shows you how versatile this die set is. Yes, I've used the embossing folder. If you were doing white on white crackers with paper elements, it's going to look equally stunning. Remember, you can use your embossing folders on the panels of the cracker die, so you can even introduce embossing folders to your finished crackers. And I think Regency was the right word for this set, because it really is very, very classy. Do not forget your brush glue. So we've now got the white on white with that fabulous, oh look at that embossing folder, everybody. Wow. So we've got that. So these two parts here are from the cracker die. These are panels from the cracker die, the largest one and the smallest one. I'm just going to stick these together. This is a part of the snowflake paper. Snowflake Serenade, I called it this year. Oh, let's have the darker one at the top. So I'm popping that on first. all your matting and layering done and everything. It's just marvellous. Then we've got the filigree element again on top of the paper so that it coordinates with the order. I completely forgot about that. I've not had a minute to think about the July challenge, but I will do. I'll try and do it. I'm trying to think what I've got to do this week. I'll try and do it tomorrow. I think I've already done it. I just need to put it on Facebook. It's been full on, hasn't it, since I went on holiday. So let's get that on here. You start in the centre and get that straight on. Turn it over to stick it. So I'm not rubbing my fingers all over the glue all the time. Ah, that's so lovely. So lovely. So I'm just going to do a little reminder just whilst we're sticking snowflakes together. Let me just do this in the right order. Once the Christmas stuff's gone, it's gone now. Karen's made me order some more of these. And I'm not joking when I say she's made me. So, I think it's going to be a couple of weeks before they're here. These are from last year. We're getting a pattern here. Chrissy, you need to tell me to stop it with the extras. Just remind myself what I'm doing. Yeah, that's it. I really try not to order. Oh, no, that should be single. But the problem is we've got all our lovely new members who are finding things from last year, working with things from this year, which is what I do, and it's putting pressure on me to keep ordering stuff here. And then with the snowflakes, I just glittered the centre of them. Oh, Elaine's just said, oh good, I missed these last year. Well, I've only ordered a small amount because I want them to go. But so keep an eye on the Facebook page. Anybody who wants the sentiments from last year. So let's just get this glittered. Oops. I was just going to say something, but I better not. Oh, that's cruel. I know I'm laughing. It's an internal joke, but I really can't tell you what I was going to say. Right, so I'm just glittering around the centre of the snowflake rather than all over. So we've got the glittery ring around the centre. And I am obviously going to glitter around the edge of the panel. So pop them there, pop them there. Get some foam tape on the back of this. Oh, Emma's just said the same. Well, all I'm going to say to you is you'll need to be quick. In fact, Karen, are you still watching? Phil says he's putting a Tiffany necklace in her cracker. Yeah, it's Tiffany. I think we're alone now. Not Tiffany, the jewellers. Right, so let's get this put together. So it's a really simple card, but it looks quite spectacular when it's all put together. Less is more sometimes, apparently. So glue on here because I know I'm going onto the embossing folder. So the glue will sink into the recesses of the embossing folder and it won't move anywhere. Let's just see if there's a better, one side's better than the other. No, they're both bob on, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going just off center here with this panel. I'm trying to get it just the same distance with the lines of the embossing folder. I can't tell you how much I love that embossing folder. I can because I keep saying it. So we'll get the middle snowflake on. The small snowflake on. So that's going on there, like so. So we've added a little bit of dimension as well. I'm not doing these two top ones. A little bit of dimension there. Then I've got the matching tag, and this time we will have. Don't splash your cracker. This time we will have. No, I don't suppose it matters because this is a card. So let's have Happy Christmas for this. So we'll have Happy Christmas on here. Don't you just love the piercing? And let me just say, I know I'm doing a lot because I'm doing the cracker and the card, and we're also going to do a little place setting. But if you were doing this for yourself or for your friends and family, it's actually quite quick to do once you've got everything die cut. So you could make your own little production line. The crackers are super easy, super quick to do. Do not miss out on the cracker. So I'm just going to glitter the edge of that. I'm not putting a gem on the end of this because it's having a snowflake. Right, so this is going across the bottom through this snowflake. So just through this snowflake here. This large snowflake is going on the end of there. Just to cover up the end of the doodah. I think I've knocked the glitter off that. That's better. Oops. And then this little snowflake is going just on the end of the sentiment, which is why I didn't put a gem on it, because we've got a gem in the snowflake. Just make sure that's straight. In case somebody gets that this year. Yeah. And then I'm just going to put a couple of random gems on some of the recessed parts of the embossing folder. So let's just choose some random ones. Let's have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. And then we've made a coordinating card. I think I need another gem. So although it's random, it's ended up sort of symmetrical. So we'll stop at that for the card. So we've now created a card, which is really, really simple, but quite easy to do. I know, Hope, I know. Yeah. So that now coordinates with our cracker. Yeah. And then we're just going to quickly do a little place setting. Oh, I've just battered my snowflake. And these were literally just scraps. And I thought, oh, I may as well show everybody how to do this. Hi, Di. Falls on me. Yeah. Oh, I've lost you all. Bear with me a second. Oh my word, what did I do to you all? I hope you're all still there. Bear with me a sec. I lost you all. I'm hoping we're still alive somewhere. Here we are. I closed all my browser. And just get everybody back on YouTube. Bear with me one sec. YouTube Studio. Yeah. Live. Just bear with me one second, everybody. Me and technology. Here we go. Here we go. That's it, we're back, or I'm back rather. You never went anywhere, it was me that did. Right, so these little bits were just scraps that were left over from when I was doing the when I was prepping the card and the crackers. I thought, oh, how nice, let's do a little place setting. So this is literally 10.5, no it's not, it's 15, so 15 by 10.5, so 15 by 10.5. I've made it slightly longer than a normal place setting would be because it's easier for the matting and layering. And we've got a couple of little bits, so I've got a plain white layer, so this matches the card, and then we've got a little piece that's embossed with the Nordic quilted embossing folder, so it's basically all going to coordinate. Now, had I have had the foresight, we could have done the napkin ring as well, because the panels from the cracker die will fold round and make a perfect circle. So you know you'd be able to do a little napkin ring and then finish it off with a snowflake, a really big snowflake or something. No cut-offs. Finally, it was me that went. I clicked X on my browser, so I closed them all. So I lost everything, but you were still here, which is what matters. So let's just make this little place setting. So let's just get this on. And I hope you found this useful, because it's very rare that I have chance to go through things in so much detail and obviously create more things. I'm just going to remind you all, just while I'm taking the backing off here, and I know I sound like a broken record, but I did warn you about this when I was on my hobby maker shows. The Christmas stuff, all of the Christmas stuff, apart from the embossing folders, because we've got more of those, all of it is going to be gone in the next week or so. Some of the dies, I believe, have already gone. So I'm just giving you a little heads up. If you're waiting for payday or you miss the shows, just be quick, is what I'm saying. Be quick. So this will coordinate with the card, as you can see. Super easy. It's just scraps of cardstock, a scrap of the embossing folder, just trimmed down to fit, a little scrap of the paper, and that little panel is literally, I think this panel here is 2.5 by 6 and 2 by 5.5. So I'm not going to get any filigree on this, because it would just defeat the object. So let's just put that on there. You can see that these are scraps, but what a good way to use them. And a little bit of foam tape. I've actually got some really exciting things to tell you, but it's too soon. I'm going to let you get over your Christmas things first and start enjoying what you've all just had before I tell you about what's coming next. So, tiny scrap of paper. In fact, if I'm honest with you, this little panel, this little panel here of the paper was what was left over from the other side of my cracker lug. So waste not, want not. So let's put this little panel on and then glitter it. So let's go central to the line, just so that it doesn't hurt my eyes. Bit of glitter. You know I can't do a Christmas card, well, any card really, without diamond tassel. And then we've got the tag, so it's the same one that I've used for everything else, but this time I'm going to use my Just Saying Relative Sentiments, and I'm going to do let's do Sister, because I know she's watching. Yeah, because I know she's watching, so she's not coming to me for a dinner, but we might go to her. So Sister, and I'm going to do this just towards the end. You can obviously put names on. If you've got the alphabet stamps, you can personalise with names, mum, dad, whatever. Put that back on there so I don't lose it. So I could do Karen. Where did I put the cover for this? What is it? You can obviously use your Elegant Script sent alphabet dies. So I'm going to snip this down because I know it's too long. So I'm going to snip a bit off the edge. I'm covered in glue. Glue to the edge, same as the other stuff that we've done. Just make sure it's short enough. It's perfect. So I'll pop that on. Sister, which obviously would have a name on if you were putting people's names on. I've just done that for quickness. We've got another snowflake stick together. I'm loving the Nordic snowflakes for this from this year. And how fab to have a choice in one set. When am I back live? Let me just think. Ooh, I think. Hang on a minute. Let me just get my head around what I'm doing this week, because I'm not sure what I'm doing on Friday, and for some reason I've got something in my head for Friday. So up to now I'll be live in our group on Thursday, but that could all change when I remember what I'm doing on Friday. I am at the shop on Wednesday. Oh, they're cornflower blue, by the way, the gems. I've got class on Wednesday, and I've not seen my class apart from Sue for ages, so it'd be nice to catch up with them. Cheryl, if you're still watching, don't forget your bank card. Cheryl loves it when I'm in. Right, so let's get this finished off. So it's actually only taken me an hour and a half to talk a load of rubbish and make a cracker, make a card, and make a little place setting that coordinates with it all. And I think for somebody like me who's a bit of a, I like things to coordinate, I think this is really rather special. So I'm coming just off the edge. A little bit of glue gel. For this little dinky cracker. And then we'll have a couple. I think it's going to have to be, let me just see where I'm putting these. Because I've covered up that line. So let's just have one there. So just two on this one. And we will stop at that. So a little place card, place setting card. Obviously it's got sister rather than her name, but that's just me being quicker. If I'd have planned it better, we would have had, I could have put a name. So a little doodah, little place setting card. You haven't got a stamp in the name or what to call my sister. Hi Julie, you'll need to watch from the beginning. So we've got the little place setting card made purely from scraps. From the card I've made, with the exception of a couple of the die cut snowflakes. We have the coordinating card. So we have the coordinating card, which is one of my top fold cards, as you know. Yeah, and we also have the two crackers. Let's put this in some sort of order. So Happy Christmas was the first one. And Merry Christmas is the one that I've made tonight. So how about that? For the majority of what I've used on here is all from your cracker die. I've used the Nordic quilted embossing folder because I absolutely love it, and if you haven't got it, you need it in your stash. So the place setting, the coordinating card, and a couple of gorgeous little crackers that match. How beautiful does this all look though, and so easy to do. This is the whole point. It's just made everything really easy. And easy but elegant, I think, is going to be our phrase for this. So there you go, everybody. So no giveaway tonight. We'll be back to that next week. I'm just going to quickly show you the cracker die again. So this is it's a massive A4. Genuinely, it's not going to last too much longer. So if you've been hankering after it, or you've been umming and ahhing, all this is made from this. So it's just a bit of a no-brainer to me. It's definitely worth it, everybody. And I'm sorry if we haven't got any of these left. It's definitely worth chucking them in if you haven't got them already. These are the mini baubles. So we could have I've obviously got this one on my crackers, but we could have had the heart, the star, whatever. This year's festive release is one of my favourites, and I knew it would be because it took me ages to get it all finished. And there you go, everybody. So I hope you've enjoyed that and found it useful. Everybody, for anybody who hasn't ordered from abroad, you know the drill. You just need to message Karen and tell her what you want, and she'll get you sorted out. I'm not sure if there are any of these left. I did ask Karen, but I didn't see the reply. But these will be in the festive die collection from last year, not in the new arrivals for this year. And there you go. I've loved doing that. Absolutely loved it. How fab is that? Don't it look super Christmassy as well? Gorgeous. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you learned something with the cracker. You cannot go wrong with it. It's worth the investment. You're going to use it year after year after year. Doesn't matter what your theme is, because you've got snowflakes and pretty stuff covered anyway. So I am now going to go and get my dinner because I haven't had anything yet. And I will catch up with you all in our Facebook group. If you haven't joined yet, new people, if you haven't joined our Facebook group, that's where you'll find it. Oh, Karen says we have got some, everybody. We have got some, so snap them up. I should have put a link on, but it's too late now. So the Facebook group is Crafting with Phill Martinez, Sentimentally Yours. Remember, you need to answer the questions. It's just 3 little simple questions when you apply. Otherwise, it automatically rejects the request. It's not us, it's a system. And if you haven't yet, make sure you've subscribed to the YouTube channel. You know how to do that. So thanks, everybody. I will catch up with you all soon. And I will see you in our Facebook group for another live on Thursday evening at 7. Unless anything changes, and I will let you know in good time. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.